Hello and welcome back to the Limit of Adhesion's Prototype League. We're here for race 2 of Road Atlanta. My name's Mark and joining me in the commentary booth is Steve. Steve, how you doing?
I'm great, thanks Mark. It's fantastic to be here, back at Road Atlanta, and we're going to see some fantastic racing. And the grid, as far as I'm aware, will be a little bit of a upturn. There we are with Russell Bright on pole and Tom Millar in second, so an LMP3 all front row. So we got Dan Rice in there in third with David Duglo-Keke, with Pavel Kuzmarek, Gavin Kelly and Stephen Maxwell, with Michael Messenger bringing up the last of the LMP2s. We've got Eric Pusey, Mark Innes, James Pepper, Rich Meesters, Steve Pepper, Ben Chalcraft there in LMP2, so he's going to have to fight his way through. Gareth Winslade, Lars Bormeester and Xiao Tome in the last of the LMP3s.
Thanks, Steve. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting seeing the LMP3 cars lead off the line. And yeah, you've got to feel a little bit frustrated there for Pusey and Innes, who are now going to have this gulf between them and the leaders. So they're going to have to hope that they'll be able to catch up. And looks like Bright has gone already. Pace car's already into the pits. And we are racing at Road Atlanta. Duglo-Keke already passed Malarin before they even get to the start-finish line, let alone turn one. And Malarin's off. Malarin looks like, he's just about saved it.
Was that some wheel dipping I saw there?
Quite possibly. But Innes there with a brilliant start, almost getting past Malarin.
Yeah,
doesn't
great
quite
start.
manage to make it through. Bright still managing to hold the lead, but not for much longer as the LMP2 start storming their way past.
Yeah, down this back
There
straight, the
goes
P2s will
Duglo-Keke.
just stretch the legs and they'll be past him, no problem at all.
The little lock up there for Dan Rice. Let's Messenger and Kelly through. Messenger there from 8th up to 2nd. That's a brilliant start from him. As we see there is now just a massive LMP2s just trying to get past poor Russell Bright.
Yeah, but it's
It's like when you're doing 30 on the motorway and you just get a load of lorries getting past you.
That's it. It'd be interesting to see what the gap between Russell is and the rest of the LMP3 field.
There we go, 2.5 seconds so far. So you see there, Kuzmarek going to the inside of Rice, and he gets that job done quite nice and smoothly. See Winslade there battling Pepper. Winslade to the inside, which becomes the outside, which becomes the inside again. We've got a car going sideways. That's Eric Pusey. What a shame for Eric.
That's definitely not the way to take that corner.
I don't think it is, no. So Winslade ahead of Pepper now. As we see some more camels going fighting. That's Pepper to the inside of Meesters. While Innes tries to scamper away down the road. Meesters goes off. Pepper is through. Tome is in the pits. You see that's Maxwell and Kelly fighting side by side. Maxwell wins that fight. Kelly, though, so much more speed through that middle part of the chicane, but then just gets a bit boxed up on exit and can't do anything with that speed.
Yeah, I think he had to just lift off there and try not to run at the back of Maxwell. So, yeah, unfortunate there for Gavin.
Indeed. So there is our current race leader, Russell Bright. We got Lars Bormeester now on the back of Pepper, trying to make his way past. No way through into turn one. I saw a little bit of tyre smoke there. Not sure who had a little lock up.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not sure whether that was Pepper or Bormeester that had a slight lock up into that corner.
We see there is Chalcraft getting back past Russell Bright. Chalcraft in the LMP2, not LMP3. So now, after 3 laps, order is broadly restored. We have the LMP2s all ahead of the LMP3s.
Yeah, and that mistake by Ben Chalcraft in the first race that saw him right down behind the LMP3s has cost him 11 seconds on the leader of the LMP2.
As we see there is Boomeister trying to get past Pepper. He goes to the outside. Will Pepper be late on the brakes? Not late enough. Boomeister gets that place. As we see, that's Maxwell taking a rather alternative line through the S's. And he will get a nice big slowdown for that, which will release Gavin Kelly. Here's a look at what happened. Oh, just too wide into turn 1.
Yeah, he kept his foot in it in there and just kept it going. He did well to keep it going forwards, to be honest. It's very easy to make a mistake and going sideways on the grass.
So here we are with Rich Meisters as he chases down his cool camel teammate James Pepper, and here is our race leader, Lugakeke. For how much longer will he be the race leader though? Because this man that we're on board with now, Michael Messenger, is closing in on him. Only now half a second between these two. Safely through the chicane. And we're about 5 minutes into this race. 15 minutes long. So Messenger certainly doesn't have to try any risky moves at this stage. Of course, he is a risky racing driver, so I think all of his moves will be rather risky.
you can put a 5 and a 2 on that one. A great driver though.
Oh yeah, absolutely outstanding. But yeah, he just needs to apply a bit of pressure on Lugakeke. Meanwhile, Malarin will be applying some pressure on Bright. Now just 0.3 of a second back.
Yeah, it's good to see these two going hammer and tongs again at the front of the field.
I think these two, certainly the class of the field.
Innes is 5.5 seconds behind this gap moment, so he'll be trying to close that up as if he possibly can.
Yeah, but to be honest, I think Innes is probably secretly hoping that these two will take each other out, because that's the only chance he's got of being able to catch up, because these two are just in another world. Right, now defending to the inside. Malarin will try and be late on the brakes and go around the outside of the chicane. That's going to be hard to make the move stick, though. He keeps his nose in there. Bright on the power earlier, and Bright stays ahead for the moment. Tell you what, though, being about 5 seconds back, Innes does have a pretty good view of this battle.
He does, yeah. It's one that's, it's worth watching. Is this, and he's got a front row seat.
Indeed. Another man who has a front row seat is Russell Bright. He races as X-Trick Racing. He does usually post videos of the races onto his YouTube channel, so go and check him out. And you'll be able to watch this race from on board his car and hear his thoughts. Both these drivers then just missing the apex ever so slightly, but I don't think it'll compromise them too much onto the back straight. As you can see just how awkward and intrusive that A-pillar is, these cars being right-hand drive.
Yeah, it makes turning right quite difficult and spotting the apex.
It does indeed. Oh, that's very sideways there for Malarin. We see Battle of the Camels. We've got Meisters trying to get past Pepper. Pepper staying ahead for the moment. A little bit of... I think I saw a little puff of tyre smoke there. I'm not sure who that could have been from. We've already gone past the halfway mark in this race. That's Pepper's hit the curb wrong. He's in the wall.
That's a heavy action.
That is a heavy hit, yeah.
And that releases Meisters to go and hunt down Innes now.
It does indeed.
A wizard in camel's clothing.
Indeed. So Pepper has towed to the pit lane. So Maxwell now, he's closing in on Kelly. So he's just at the fastest lap of the race. Consistently a couple of tenths of a second quicker. He's brought that gap down to just a second now. We see the fight for the lead in the LMP3 class. That's so close. It's just a couple of tenths of a second now between these two. Lauren did look like he was going to go for the inside line, but thought better of it. Not really anywhere to pass through these S's. You've got to be very brave to try and attempt to move here. And, oh, that was in. It's not Bright. There's Bright and Malarin. Still Bright ahead of Malarin.
Yeah, there's not much between. There's not much between these two drivers at all. Very, very close.
They are incredibly close. On this long back straight now, Malarin will get a nice, healthy slipstream. Will we see Malarin just pop his nose out to the inside and try for a late move? Bright defends the inside, but doesn't defend it well enough. Malarin goes for the move, not late enough on the brakes. He tucks back in behind Bright, and he will try again at the next lap.
Yeah, he wasn't quite close enough to make that move, and Real ISO tucked him behind again to take the corner in the on the racing line, rather than trying to risk maybe losing it on the exit.
But you've seen him try that move a good sort of 3 or 4 times so far this race, that late braking into the chicane. So you've got to wonder, as you see him there closing right up, but he's just not close enough. It's so hard to make a move stick through the S's.
Yeah, you can't
unless
force
you
yourself
force
through.
your opponent into a mistake.
That's it. You can't force yourself through at that point. It's better part of valour really, and try and make sure that you get the speed through these corners here, and then down the back straight, and he'll be challenging again by the time he gets back down to the chicane at the bottom.
Indeed, you do certainly get the sense that a move is certainly coming. It's just a case of when and where. As we see Maxwell now even closer to the back of Kelly. Will Kelly be able to hold on? He's got another 3 or 4 laps to hold on. Talking of holding on, that man there, Russell Bright, held on for another lap. Malarin didn't make the pass at the chicane.
Yeah, and going slightly underneath the radar as well again is Lugo Keke at the front, holding Michael Messenger off. Doing extremely
Indeed.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, we sort of mentioned that earlier on in the race. We thought Messenger would be all over Keke and would be able to get past, but Keke seems to be holding his own up front there.
He does. He keeps putting in those lap times.
That was slightly out of shape there for Bright. Malarin will try around the outside, but I think he's not going to have room. And that was very polite of Bright there, leaving an awful lot of space.
Yeah, very respectful racing there.
Indeed. Now Malarin is incredibly close. So is this going to be the lap that he manages to make a move? Bright defends the inside very heavily. Malarin will be forced around the outside. Who will be late on the brakes? It is Malarin, and has he got this move done? Looks like he has.
Yeah, that was a great move there. Just outbraked and manoeuvred it through the chicane to take a nice little lead there.
Well, it just goes to show, like, he set that move up a good few corners in advance. So we knew all along that trying to go around the outside of Bright as they were coming onto the back straight, that was never going to work. But I don't think that was the plan. It was just to push Bright offline, get a worse exit, be right tucked up behind him so that you can make that move into the chicane. And it worked perfectly.
Yeah, it looked as though, like you say, he'd been setting it up for a couple of 3 laps and took advantage when Russell had made the slightest of error on that last corner before the straight, and as you say, tucked up behind his rear wing, and he was away.
Meanwhile, Lugakeki still leads from Messenger. And we've still got Kelly ahead of Maxwell. As we see, the leaders are now trying to make their way through the LMP3 traffic.
It's one of the few times we've actually seen the P2s come up against the back end of the LMP3s.
Yeah, I think it was here in Long Beach as well. Both of them are fairly short tracks, which not only does it mean that the prototype cars have less distance to travel to complete a lap, but it means that we get more laps in which to do so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, certainly these shorter laps are the only ones that we're going to get lapped traffic in. You see now Messenger right on the back of Lugakeki. All over him like a rash. But
Yeah,
still, Lugakeki not making a single mistake.
No, I'll be feeling the heat now, and he's got obviously Michael Messenger breathing heavily down his pipe now, so he'll be feeling that, and it's whether he can keep him in front of him.
That's There's the move from there. Maxwell.
Yeah.
Pokes his nose to the inside. It's not quite far enough up the inside. So you see, here's what happened. So we've got Kelly behind. That's an LMP3 of, I think that's Boomeister. And yeah, that's Kelly just caught traffic in the wrong place. And that opened the door up for Maxwell.
Yeah, Maxwell was so much faster than Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly there leaving a car's width and not a millimetre more. Really pinching Maxwell to the apex. Maxwell then did draw alongside under braking, but didn't quite have enough room and was on the outside line. So Kelly remains ahead. These guys are on the final lap. That was the white flag. And, oh, I tell a lie, that was the checkered flag.
Yep.
So, yep, that was the last lap. So Lugakeki managed to keep the win then from Messenger. Kelly managed to stay on the podium. And such is the pace of this man right here, Chimalarin, that once he got past Bright, he's now extended that gap quite a bit to 2.5 seconds. Yeah, we saw that in the first race as well, that when Malarin was, once Malarin did get past Bright, he was able to pull away. There we go then, final lap, final corner, and here comes Malarin to take the checkered flag and do the double. 2 victories in 2 races here at Road Atlanta. Russell Bright with 2 second places, and that'll be Innes on the podium.
Yeah, fantastic race there for Mark Innes, and a very strong race weekend for both Russell and Tour there. So obviously the prototypes Season 2 at Road Atlanta. They on P2s. We had David Lugakeki, followed by Michael Messenger and Gavin Kelly, with Stephen Maxwell, Pavel Kurzmarek and Dan Rice there. And the LMP3s, Tom Malarin taking the win with Russell Bright second, Mark Innes third. And then we have Rich Meisters, Gareth Winslade, Lars Bowmeister, Eric Pusey, James Pepper and Steve Pepper there in 8th and 9th. And then Zhao Tomei bringing up the rear.
Yeah, so that was a great race. Absolutely filled with action.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was... my apologies. We got the championship standings there. We got David Lugakeki with 304 points out front, followed by Stephen Maxwell and Michael Messenger. Yeah, he's looking very, very strong for the championship as well. He's David there. Good haul of points there today. And he stays up in first place in the championship.
Yeah, I think today's race just sort of proved that he deserves to be up there, as we see championship standings in the LMP3.
Yeah, Russell Bright out there
close. Yeah, very close up the front. Bright, Malarin and Meisters all separated by just a handful of points. And Winslade's not too far behind them.
That's it. I mean, it's going to be very close. I mean, obviously the top four there, it's it's going to be close in the next few rounds, and with the drop rounds as well. It's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top.
Indeed. So the confirmation of championship standings.
Yeah, for the teams, it's Wizard Black Sapphire in LMP2s with RaceGator.de, followed by Wizards Fire Ruby and Risky Racing Blue with Minardi RR, Stupid Agori, LJ Motorworks, Risky Orange, and I didn't get that one last one. And then obviously LMP3s, we have No Slots, No Glory, way out in front by about 33 points. Wizards Green Emerald, Cool Camel Silver, Wizards Blue Topaz, Cool Camel Gold, QRS, the organisation, and Minardi Americas down there in the last place, 8th with 827 points.
So next time up we got Sebring. So that's all we've got time for this time. So yeah, join us again in a couple of weeks' time when we'll be racing at Sebring. My name's been Mark, and joining me in the commentary booth has been Steve.
Yeah, thanks for Mark. It's been brilliant to be here, and we'll look forward to next time at Sebring. So take care. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.